And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Ooh, I hope you enjoyed that short break in the Brutal OC as we returned with the grand finals of the American StarCraft Tournament. It's been an intense event so far with all these players coming in, invited of course, and now we're down to two. Now we're down to two Zerg players from Latino America here in a best of 5 grand finals. Oh boy, I know it's getting quite late in the lands of the Latin Americas, so they are a little bit tired, a little bit exhausted, but we're still going to be jumping on in, and we'll see who will be crowned our champion tonight. Who's it going to be? As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Oceanborn, we have our blue Zerg player from the land of Bolivia, representing Invitational Esports. It is Ryogin. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the red Zerg player from the land of Costa Rica, representing Team License to Kill, LDK, going for a gas first. It is EON. And if you're in the chat, predictions are open. Get your gamba going. Place your bets on who you think will come out on top, as we have a very aggressive build, 14-14, out of EON, rushing into gas, rushing into fast link speed, or fast spawning pool into fast link production, and we'll see how Ryogin responds. Now again, as I mentioned before, EON has a reputation. EON does have a reputation. He's known for being hyper aggressive, hyper all in your face at all moments, at all times. Ryogin, does he know this? Is he familiar with his opponent? Because we're going to be rushing to really fast link speed, potentially banelings as well. We have options. EON does have options here with how he wants to approach this, with how he does invest. But I imagine Ling Bane is what we're going for. Here we go. Lings are on the way. Gas is still being mined from. Bearing in mind we have not pulled out of gas, so it is going to be Lings and banelings. And we'll see if Ryogin can survive the aggression of EON. We shall see, as it is going to be a standard hash gas pool opener. Now, because of this, Ryogin will have to pull the boys. We'll have to try and defend quite well here. We'll see if he can hold into the natural. If he gives up on the natural, goes to the main base instead. Oh. Ooh, as our players are playing on US Central, I hope that that's the map that, sorry, the server they're meant to play on. They're on Central. I know typically Latin Americans play on US East. I know that's slightly better for most players. So hopefully everything's okay. Yeah, so everything's okay on my end. But here we go. Lings have arrived. Baneliness is in production here for EON. Link speed is on the way. And the goal is to break the natural and get even more damage than that. Ryogin saving his drone. Hatchery under fire. Queens are on the way. Lings are coming out. And we'll see if Ryogin can defend that natural base. We'll see if he can hold on. So far, so good. Banelings are in production. Banelings are on the way for EON. Oh. Spine Crawler being thrown down, but it's going to finish up quite late even. We'll see. We'll see if we can hold it. It's going to come down to the Baneling Nation. It's going to come down to control of our players. Banelings are rolling in. Banelings, they do rock up. Lings get surrounded. Banelings are targeted. Ooh, one Baneling goes off, and we go for the queens. We get a surround. We get one queen, and we're going to get the other as well. Both queens go down. The Spine Crawler, it's not going to finish. And we're holding on to that Baneling. We're not wasting it. We're waiting for those Lings to spawn in. And behind this, EON is still making Lings. He's still flooding across the map. He busts down that Spine Crawler, busts into the main base. And again, we don't want to waste a Baneling. GG. GG gets scored. It's just too much, and EON will take the game. GG. Again, Ryogin, unfortunately, it looked like he didn't realize that it was an early gas. Otherwise, the Spine Crawler would have been started a lot sooner in the main base. Likewise, some players consider it a little bit easier to just give up on the natural. If you're up against a 13-12 or a 14-14 like this, just give up on the natural base, give up on the expansion, and defend the ramp, as you have both queens, so you can wall up on the ramp, defend on one base, and sure, you might end up losing your hatchery, but remember, because of the aggressive build of EON, he was down in drones. He was down in workers, down in drones, then you can survive, you can counterattack, you can get into the swing of things from there. Again, Ryogin did, it looks like, misread his opponent. Did look like it. And with that, GG. GG well played. EON takes the first game. Takes the first game. I can't imagine we're going to be seeing more 13-12s or more aggressive openers. Again, it was a 14 initial spawning pool. Sorry, 14 gas, even. But we'll see where our players take it from here. As we're getting ready for game number 2. Getting ready for game number 2 here. And I believe game 2 is going to be on Alkyone. Much larger map this time. Much larger map. And I'm hoping we can actually get into the mid game. I'm hoping we can get into a back and forth. I'm hoping at least. We'll see. As our players are getting ready. Ooh. Again, I don't think Ryogin was able to really showcase his skill and showcase his prowess in that last game. But that's how unforgiving ZvZ can be. Can be unforgiving. And it looks like we are jumping on in. We're going to have to count this time. It's okay. We'll have to count. Won't have WCS game heart. It's all good. Here we go. We're jumping into that second game here. Again, it's still best of 5, so plenty of games to work with, plenty of room to maneuver as well. Even though Ryogin may have taken a loss in game 1, can afford, a loss here and there, and can, of course, recover mid-series. I want to hope he can. Do you want to hope? As we are jumping into Alkyone. Let's go. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have our Bolivian Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, representing Invitational Esports down in this series, looking to bounce back. It is Ryogin. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have the Red Zerg player from Costa Rica, representing Team License to Kill, LTK, leading the series 1-0. It is EON. Here we go. Again, it was an explosive start to game 1. We'll keep an eye on the gas timings of EON in game number 2. We'll see if he once again opens up aggressively. I do think it's ill-advised to go for an earlier gas timing here on Alkyone just because the map is much larger. And here we go, hatch first. It's going to be hatch first by EON, likewise hatch first from Ryogin as well. So both players opening up with their faster hatcheries into their gases, into their spawning pools. Much more standard openers here from EON and Ryogin. We're settling in. This time we're going to have more of a back and forth. There we go, gas now being taken. Interesting. Ryogin going for a pool before gas. Okay. So hatch pool gas. A bit of a safer opener here from Ryogin. A little bit safer. This does mean early on there is a slight lead for EON, as he will have slightly faster link speed and slightly faster banelings as a result, depending on how crispy you want it to be. Meanwhile, Ryogin will have slightly faster queens instead. Only by like a second or two. Like it's fine. It's fine. It's just slight variations. And I'm curious to see if either player does embrace 2-base play. Again, I'm not too fond of that on this map either. We should just be seeing a third into the mid-game, into more macro back and forth. Keep an eye on our players. Ryogin getting into his initial link production, 4 links on the way. On the way for Ryogin. Likewise across the map, EON still droning. Interesting. EON being greedy here. And if you notice, not making any links at all. 0 link production for EON, just making queens. And EON has not started link speed. 2-base. Okay. EON is playing 2-base. He should be walling off here with a Roach Horn, with an Evo Chamber, with a Queen as well, and taking into Roaches or taking into Mutas. There is no way to expand. There's no way for EON to hold on to this third. So there it is, we're walling up. EON is going to be walling up instead and saving this gas either for a fast lair or for fast Roaches. Meanwhile, Ryogin does confirm. Behind this, he should be cancelling this Baneling Nest. 3rd base is on the way. Basically, this Baneling Nest has no purpose. Because EON is skipping link speed, and there's that lair and Roach Horn. But because EON is skipping link speed and going into Roach production, it does mean that spending gas on this Baneling Nest, it's not really worth it and doesn't really add much value here. Keeping the Bailey Nest is a little bit safer. It means that if Eon was faking a Ling Flood, then Ryogin would be okay. But alas, we can see that's not the case. We can see that Eon is just throwing down his second Evo chamber, walling up, getting into roaches, and now this could be the beginning of a 2-base all-in. This could be Eon just moving out on 2 bases, or he could just open 2 base and take a later third and then drone. There are options. So Eon could just go for a later third base off of roach play, as roach production has begun. Lair now finishing up, going straight into roach speed. Likewise, Ryogin throwing down his own roach horn, again making safety banelings that they aren't quite necessary, but again just really safe play for Ryogin. It does look like he's afraid of a Ling Flood. So just being hyper safe. Meanwhile, both players are droning up. Again, Ryogin, his advantage is his faster third, which means a more larva, which means more droning and better saturation. And here we go. Eon now expands and takes a third, and we can see that Eon is still droning up. So again, he's just slowly expanding, slowly getting to a base. Ryogin has the opportunity to try to cancel this expansion. Lings are moving out. He can apply some pressure, but canceling the expansion, I don't think there are enough Lings to pull that off quite yet. Yeah, they nibble away at the base. Roaches respond. And Eon should be okay. Does save the expansion. And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. I apologize for the stream going down. For those of you that have been watching for the past month, it's been happening for the past month. Every single day without fail, the stream has been going down. Earlier this week, we had the ISP send down technicians to work on the issue, and they found like there was some issue with like the cabling connecting ourselves to the node, and they changed the cabling and everything should have been fixed. This was on Monday, and Monday was okay, and just Monday. So we just have to wait for I guess more technicians to come next week, and then maybe the issues can be resolved. But until then, on a daily basis, the stream has been dropping. It's let's go. And it will continue to do so, I imagine. But for now, we're jumping into our next game. We are mid-series in the grand finals of the American StarCraft Tournament. For those of who are unaware, we've been hosting this event. We've been running it for the entire day so far, for 4 hours straight. And now we're jumping in to game number 3. We missed out on game 2, but we are jumping into game number 3, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the Bolivian Zerg player, the blue Zerg representing Invitational Esports. It is Ryogin. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Costa Rican Zerg player, the red Zerg representing Team License to Kill, LTK, leading the series 2-0. It is EON. Let's go. Again, we missed out on game number 2. Unfortunately, we saw the opener, and Eon was opening up 2-base Roach. We didn't see how the series concluded. We did not see how it did end, so it's a little bit unfortunate there. Weren't able to see how game 2 did unfold, but now we're jumping into game 3, and we'll see how things differ here. Hatch gas full standard opener out of Eon. Meanwhile, similarly done by Ryogin. Both players opening up standard. Let's go. Let us go. But yeah, I do apologize for the stream going down. We lost a good half of our viewers. That's always the thing that hurts me a little bit, because, you know, like shout out to the organizers behind this event, like Artecario, like Pacheca, and many others as well. They're hosting this event, and I want to like put eyes on the event itself, and you know, make people fans of these players. Like time and time again, whenever we cast players like Neo or Cristiano or Eon, people like, who is this guy? What's going on? Like, they play like a really fun style. They do get to know them, and I want you to get to know them. But you know, smooch, smooch, man, smooch. Regardless, we're settling into game 3, and I'm hoping for an extended series. I'm hoping for a back and forth. I'm hoping we can go to game 4 and game 5 thereafter, but we'll see. It comes down to our players. The pressure is on Ryogin. The pressure is on. Here we go. We have our third base now being taken for our Zerg player. Ling's moving out for a scout. Likewise, Eon embracing his own Ling production as well. We're just both headed in the same direction. And this time, EON takes a third. This time he's not playing 2-base Roach. EON sounds like Yud. I don't know if I would go that far. Hey. That's crazy. How does he sound like Beyond? That's what did I say? But for now, Overlords are moving out. Being sent around, being sent across the map, being denied even. Bailey Nest gets thrown down by Ryogin. Meanwhile, no Bailey Nest from EON. This is a very late nest, if not at all. He's link flooding. EON is link flooding. We're cutting workers at 27. We have 14 lings on the way. EON is looking to end the game here and now. He's skipping roaches. Sorry, he's skipping Bailings, going straight into roaches. Okay, we're rushing into the roach warren, and this link flood has a lot riding on it. Okay, link speed has kicked in. Now we throw down the Bailey nest, a very late nest, and here come the lings. EON is zooming across the map. Bailey nest from Ryogin is done, and we should be seeing some Bailings back at home. Bailings should be on the way. Last in already, yes. Just now being morphed in. They're a little bit late. And EON, he's going for the kill. He's going for the natural. We do barely wall off in time. The queen is in position. The wall is up. Another Bailing on the way. The queen is going to go down. We got one queen, but the Bailings will finish. They finish up just in time, and Ryogin holds. Ryogin does hold on. EON going for the third. Behind this, roaches are amassing. Bailey nest almost done. Again, EON is committed. That's a lot of roaches on the way. Bailey coming in. Oh my god. Bailey's go off. Not the best connections here. EON, he will still lay siege upon the base, but at the same time, Lings, they get across the map, and EON is not ready. The queen gets surrounded. A roach as well. EON does hold on. He does force back the army. Hatchery under fire. The base is going to fall. The target down the base. Up. EON does get it. The hatchery does go down. Hatchery falls, and EON is still moving out, now with an army of roaches. We have roaches. We have Lings. Ryogin down a base. EON is up in production. EON is squeezing out a couple of drones here and there, but mainly still focusing on aggression. EON is not pulling away, not pulling back. Yeah, getting on top of that Bailey nest. Oh, sorry, on top of the Bailing. Bailing is denied. Ryogin going for a massive counterattack, but alas, EON is still moving out. He can send it, Pappy. He can send it. And EON is waddling in. We do have a handful of roaches to defend, but only a handful. And with all these things, oh, good Bailey connection. Very nice connection. Yeah, EON, he will bleed out all these things, and it looks like Ryogin will defend. Ryogin, he will shut this down. EON overextends. And back at home, EON is droning. Okay, we're calming things down. Ryogin holds. Ryogin, he holds on. EON is droning on up, saturating his bases, getting into some roaches to defend. And the question becomes, Ryogin, is he all in? That's the question. Is he going to be forced all in, or does he drone up and try to reclaim his third? EON is checking. EON is looking for the third base. Does confirm it's not at least the third base location. Triangular third even. Ryogin has not mined through the mineral patches yet. Can't gain access to another third. And Ryogin is still droning. Okay. Looks like Ryogin is attempting to stabilize, which is not going to be easy. EON is up by 10 workers. EON is up 10 drones. Lair is on the way. Second Evo chamber first Evo chamber as well for upgrade production. And Ryogin, he has some catching up to do. He has a lot of catching up to do. He can do so, you know, with Bailing run-bys, with Link counterattacks. There are ways for Ryogin to stabilize and to catch up, but it's not going to be easy. As EON even mining through those gold minerals, mining through the patches. Lair about to finish up. And the question becomes, is EON going to fully saturate his third, or is he going to commit on 2.5 base play? Because we've joined up somewhat for now. Somewhat. He has droned. Moving out across the map. EON still droning, by the way. Still saturating, which can be risky. As Ryogin reestablishes his third, and yeah, Ryojin's droning up as well. So Ryogin, he's trying to reestablish his third base, but he is quite far behind. And EON is done droning. He's done droning. He's saturated on 3 bases. He's opting not to take his gases at the 3rd, not yet. And EON is focusing on roach production. And EON has almost double the army supply of his opponent. And we're waiting for the upgrades. I believe EON should be waiting for roach speed. Roach speed is getting there. Likewise, so is +1 range. Spire has been thrown down. EON is embracing that Spire tech. Which means he can move out with his ground army and then reinforce with mutas. Oh boy. Mutas can be on the way. Now, EON, because he hasn't been droning too heavily, if this game is going on longer, Ryojin's catching up. Like, Ryojin, he's back up to 63 workers. EON invested heavily into this roach army. He's not using it. He should. Spire into the main. The scouts into the main. Spire yet to be confirmed, but there is a Hydrogen on the way for Ryojin. And EON, he's missing his window. He has a big moment, a big opportunity where he can move out, but alas, he's missing it, and he's banking on these mutas instead. He's banking on the muta play. And now Ryojin on an even drone count. EON taking a 4th. Ryojin catching out overlords. EON now moving out. Bearing in mind, no Ravagers, only Roach, and that's how we can afford mutas. 7 mutas are on the way. At the same time, Ryojin trying to take up into lurkers. Taking up into lurker tech. Wiles not quite going to be connecting. EON, he just dives in. He goes for the dive. He has an overwhelming roach army. He doesn't even need the mutas. Mutas aren't even necessary. We're getting some of the Ravagers as well. And EON, he overwhelms. We were hoping for an extended series. We were hoping for a back and forth, but EON, he's breaking through here and now. The mutas have arrived, and there's barely any anti-air. There's 3 queens, and only 3. As again, even without the mutas, EON has enough. As he's pushing through the front lines, takes down the queen. And it looks like with reinforcements, Ryojin, he's holding on. His ground army, at least. His ground army does hold on, but what about the anti-air? There's still 1 queen left over. A bit of a miscontrol, bit of mistargeting. But the queen is going to be targeted. Yo, the contamination! Let's go! Contamination on the Evo chamber. EON being forced back. Hydras have arrived. But again, from here, EON can rebuild, remax, and move out once again. Now, Ryojin has done a good job at just recovering economically, droning back up to 60. The worker count is looking quite healthy here for Ryojin. What about the army? The army is what's lacking. Lurkers are now on the way. But only 2. Lurkers are the ideal in ZvZ. They are kind of the end game, the late game. It's what you want to work up towards. But we only have 2 lurkers. It's not enough. We do need more time. But so far, Ryojin forcing back the army. Lurker has arrived. There is some detection. Ryojin forcing EON back. Does force him back. Second lurker has arrived as well. Does burrow. Bile will connect. And EON barely not able to get on top of those lurkers. Just barely. And even though EON has a massive supply lead, if Ryojin can survive a little bit longer and make a handful of extra lurkers, he can hold. It's not going to be easy. We can get there. EON rotating around. Making his way towards the natural. Lurkers are keeping up. Oh. So far, so good. How many lurkers? 4 so far. We have 4, soon to be 5 lurkers. Just the 4 for now. EON knocking down those rocks, gaining access to the 4th base. Pushing on forward, getting on top of another lurker. He gets 1, he gets 2. 2 lurkers go down. There's 2 left. 2 lurkers remaining. But again, it just costs so much supply to fight into lurkers like that. And EON is not taking. You can see EON, he's not taking into his own Hydras and into his own lurkers. He's committed with Roach Ravager. And EON can make this work. But the supplies are closing. The gap is closing even. EON pushing forward. Files up. Oh, they connect. Some of them do connect. One lurker goes down. There's still one lurker left. It's gonna be targeted as well. The lurkers are falling one after the other. There's one lurker left for Ryogin, and it's not quite in position. And EON, he breaks through. He's getting on top of the base. Ryogin almost stabilized. Casito, papi, casito. Almost. The fourth is gonna fall, and EON can keep pushing. There's 3 more lurkers on the way, but they just started. And without them, we cannot hold. We need them, papi. We need them. And Val's just zoning Ryogin away. Locked outside of his own base. Outside of his own expansion. Lurkers do morph in. But they're exposed. There's no support. There's not enough here. The Vials, they connect. They shut down the lurkers. And that's going to be all she wrote. That's going to be all we had left. EON, he overwhelms. GG gets called. And EON will take the series 3-0. Becoming our very first American StarCraft Tournament champion. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations, EON will take the series, will take it in a 3-0 fashion. Very impressive, very dominant performance here in the finals by EON. Did stumble his way to the finals. We saw earlier in the tournament, Cristiano was able to pose a threat. Likewise, EON went up against Slayer Marine, up against Kamikaze, but did look quite strong here in the ZvZ. GG. GG, well played. EON does take it. I do apologize for the stream going down earlier, and a big shout out in the chat to Catastrophe. Oh my god, how's the tournament been? Any issues? For the most part, it was solid. I was just mentioning that unfortunately the stream went down in the middle of the finals, so we lost a lot of viewers. So my apologies, But a shout out to Catastrophe. For those who don't know, big shout out. Catastrophe is the sponsor of the tournament. Without Catastrophe, StarCraft would be worse off, and these events would not be happening either. So a big shout out to Catastrophe. Thank you so much for all that you do. Gracias, papi, gracias por todo que haces para la comunidad, para StarCraft. Thank you, we do appreciate it. And yeah, you know, without Catastrophe, this event wouldn't be possible. And again, I do apologize for the stream going down. It went down in the middle of the finals, but it's back, and we were able to at least catch the tail end of the finals. GG. Get your predictions back. Oh, you get them back, Pap. You get them back. So big shout outs. Gracias. Thank you. But yeah, with that, GG, well played. Congratulations to EON. And yeah, the bracket was honestly a lot of fun. If you missed out, if you maybe tuned in at the end, if you missed out on the beginning of the tournament, the beginning of the broadcast, I recommend it. So we started the night off with Neo versus Cristiano. We're very close with both players. It was a very fun series into, of course, EON. We had Tavo versus Kamikaze versus EON as well. Really fun series, really fun matches. I do recommend checking them out. I recommend watching the VODs, whether it's here on Twitch or over on YouTube. We're live on both platforms at the same time, so consider checking out the VODs. Otherwise, thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. When it comes to my internet issues, I do apologize. Again, it's out of my control. Like, what can I do, Pappy? What can I do? So yeah, we are gonna have some technicians over next week, and hopefully they can find the issue and resolve the issue. Otherwise, we're just gonna have to get used to the stream going down on a daily basis. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. Otherwise, hope you enjoyed yourselves. Hope you enjoyed the broadcast. Hope you enjoyed the tournament. Potentially more events in the future. Potentially, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with the future of these sorts of invitationals. We'll see how we do kind of approach this, and whether we plan other events, whether we open things up to other regions as well. For now, I believe this was just locked to Latin America and North America, potentially other regions, maybe other players. We'll see. Otherwise, honestly, I really did like this format. A lot of these players are very near and dear to our hearts, and they're also quite close in skill as well. So a lot of these matches were very competitive, a little bit unorthodox, and a lot of fun. So yeah, it was a great time. In the end. GG. And a shout out not just to Catastrophe, a shout out to Enki, El Hermoso, of course. Shout out to Enki for casting in Spanish. Shout out to Pacheca and Artecario as well, also casting in Spanish. Enki wasn't able to cast the end of the tournament. He, I believe, had to leave, but did cover most of it. So big shout out to Enki. Much love. El Hermoso. And with that, we are wrapping up. We're going to be wrapping up here for the day, for the evening. We're going to be back tomorrow. We're going to be back tomorrow here. Of course, we cast on a daily basis here on the CranKy Ducklings, and tomorrow is going to be World Team League. World Team League WTL. The playoffs begin tomorrow in just over 24 hours. Oh boy, it's been a long season. It's been a long season, and we just crowned the best player in the world. We just crowned Clem at EWC, but now at WTL, we crowned the best team. Who's going to be? Team Liquid, Basilisk, Weibo Gaming, Team Vitality, and many others. Shopify Rebellion, they're all going to be facing off in just over 24 hours time in the World Team League. We're going to be casting Day 1, Day 2, and Day 3 here on the CranKy Ducklings. Not just that, but we also have House Galactic Battle. For those that are curious, that is a big offline event happening in Poland. So for those that are familiar with players like Spirit, Alazer, Geralt, Christiana, Papi, and many others, they're all facing off, all the Polish players are facing off in an offline event in Poland on Saturday. Now, because that's a full day event, that's like a 12-hour cast, we're going to be focusing on Saturday on House Galactic Battle. That does clash with Day 2 of WTL. We're going to be casting Day 2 via replays on Day 3. So we're going to be casting Day 1 of WTL live, then House Galactic Battle, and then on the final day of WTL, we're going to go live earlier, like 3 or 4 hours earlier than normal. Going to go over the replays of Day 2 to catch up, and then go into Day 3 live. Going to go into Day 3, the final day live, so it's going to be a busy weekend. It's going to be double the casting, Papi, double the casting. So a lot to go over the weekend with World Team League and House Galactic Battle. It's going to be a lot of good fun. Likewise, following that, yet to be determined. Remember, the EPT Open Cups, for the time being, have been discontinued. We are still in the dark whether or not they're going to be brought back. So we'll find out what happens. If not, we have plans for our own tournament. Bit of an announcement here, and we'll get into the details at a later date, but we do have plans to bring back another event, another tournament, to try to fill in the gap and the hole that EPT leaves. So if ESL Open Cup isn't back next week, we'll be hosting another tournament in its place. That's the plan. That is the plan. We're going to wait a little bit longer before we fully announce it, because there is a chance that maybe ESL over the weekend or tomorrow, it's possible that they maybe announce, oh, you know, we re-signed the deal and we have plans for another season of EPT, and they bring back the Open Cups, and then we have to reschedule. So it's possible. It is possible that that does occur. So we're going to wait a couple of days to see if we hear anything from ESL. If we do, then we'll reschedule. If not, then we'll be live with our own tournament. That's the plan. That is the plan. Shout out to again. Shout out to Atagario, to Pacheca as well. Big shout out. And yeah, with that, we are going to be wrapping up for the time being. Time to ladder. True. I am a little bit sad just because of the internet going down earlier, but you know what? It's time. It's time to ladder. It's time to smurge. Even more, Papi. For those that are curious, I do ladder from time to time on my personal channel. I don't ladder here. The CranKy Ducklings, we leave it solely for casting and for like team events and for like podcasts and shows. We leave things like a little bit more professional here on the CranKy Ducklings. Over on my personal channel, less so. We're not professional at all. Replays. This event went on for a little bit longer than we thought. This event went on a little bit longer. I got you covered, Tyler. We'll cover some replays next week. Next week, Papi. I promise. I do apologize, but we'll go over some viewer replays next week. It's already 2 p.m., Papi. It's 2 p.m. Oh no. Time to ladder. But yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for the support. We're going to be going live, or I'm going to be going live over on my personal channel. Otherwise, if you only are interested in some pro StarCraft, then we got you covered tomorrow with World Team League. Mark your calendar, set your alarms for WTL. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be beautiful. Fun fact, the WTL predictions, they just ended. The prediction game, because the season did conclude, the CranKy Ducklings prediction game did come to an end. And fun fact, who was number one? Papi, let's go. For For those that are curious, basically it was kind of like not the same as, but kind of like I guess fantasy football league or something. For the last season of WTL, in our Discord server, we did host a prediction game where every single week we all predicted, you know, the results and who would win, who would lose, the score line, and we kept track of all of it. And because the season ended, the results have come in for the season of WTL, and yeah, we came out. We had some rough weeks. I'll be honest, we had some rough weeks, but we came out on top. Pat, we came out on top. I think our overall success rate of predictions was like 62% or something, 60 something. So yeah, we know our StarCraft. We know it, Pat. We know it. Let's go. Sorry. I'll get the results. Defaults ranking 61%. Let's go. just enough to be number one. And under other metrics, 77%. Let's go. Shout out to Pablo Sanchez. He was number 2. Big shout out. He was like just behind me. Gunner, Senju was in there as well. Easy Phil, Papa Panda, Kuro, Yaku. A lot of fun. We try to do that every season. Every season we try to have like a fun prediction game. We try. But yeah, with that, we are going to be wrapping up here for the time being. And again, if you're interested, I'm going to be live on my personal channel. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Thank you for the support. It's time to ladder. And enjoy your week. Enjoy your week and enjoy the upcoming weekend full of StarCraft. Until then, see you guys next time. Hasta luego. Ciao, papi, ciao. Hasta luego. Hasta luego.